Earbuds are connected. Earbuds are connected. Okay, we're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. Gaeta, welcome back. Thank you for being the first one in today. Whew, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're ready for some side splits training. I have probably overdone a little bit. I didn't get very much sleep last night. I haven't gotten the best rest, and I've also been trying to film some long form versions of the workout. And my body's a little sore, it's a little bit stiff today, so hopefully it'll get a little bit better during the live. But if it seems to be a little bit too much, I'm gonna dial back the intensity. I won't go as deep into the stretches and I won't push as hard. That doesn't mean you shouldn't push as hard if you are feeling okay. But I'm just gonna let you know, maybe you'll feel like, oh, the ankles are not as intense as they sometimes look. And that is because feeling a little sore, feeling a little stiff, and I want to give my body a little bit of a break while still going live with you guys. Cool? So, with that spiel, let's go ahead and do the introduction and get ready to go. My name is Ken, and we are doing 45-ish minutes of live side split stretching. You don't have to know anything. You can come in as an absolute beginner because I explain everything as we go. The goal is to build consistency. We do this every single day to build consistency, but also to build a little bit of community. Because if you're here every day, if I'm here every day, inevitably a small community is going to form, and that community makes doing the stuff on the floor that we struggle with a lot easier. Cool? We're gonna make hard things easy. We're gonna show up every day, and hopefully we're gonna make a whole bunch of progress towards our side split and hip mobility goals. With that, let's begin with hip cars. Hip cars are all about moving through your maximum range of motion using your own muscle power. So it looks a little bit like this. We're going to bring this knee up as high as it can go. If you lose balance with your feet, that's okay. Just give yourself a second to adjust. I recommend holding a wall for a little bit of support so that you can stay balanced and focus on the legs. All right, let's go. High knee. We're going to open up that hip directly to the side as wide as it can open. Try to keep the knee pretty high. Rotate the leg so that the ankle is up, the knee is up, and bring the whole thing down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. All right, that's one rep. We're going to do 10 of these. Let's go. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. That's 3. And 4, 5, 6, 7, lost balance. 8, 9, and 10. Whew. Check out that leg. Oh, wiggle. Give it a little love. Let it relax. Let's get ready to the other side. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. High knee. Open up. Ankle up. Down and back. High knee. Open up. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 4, I think. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Whew. All right, give your hips a little pound, a little light massage, and let's keep going. We're gonna go in reverse now. All right, we're gonna focus on contracting those muscles, pulling the leg back. First, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, really bring this knee behind your standing leg. Try to keep your upper body pretty straight. Lift directly to the side. Keep that ankle high, maybe even higher than the knee. Rotate, bring that knee up. And then finally, close up, but bring the knee to the front. All right, that is 1 rep. We're going to do 10 of these on the left and 10 on the right, and then we'll be done with hip cars. We're already 50% of the way through. Let's go. Back, side, ankle, knee, back, side, ankle, knee, back, side, ankle, knee. I think this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Whew. Give your hip a little bit of a massage, move and wiggle, shake it out. Let's go. Other side, last leg. Hip curls are almost done. Let's go. Back, side, ankle, knee. Ooh, there's my first big hip crack of the day. Number 2 is good. And let's keep going. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and last one, 10. Whew. All right. Give your hips a little bit of a massage. Take care of them. And I'm going to come back over to the phone to check out the chat because I think I see some conversation starting up. Travel Darcy says hello, 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 hello. What else we got? Eduardo with the good vibes. Thank you so much for always being in the chat, always being lovely. I appreciate it. All right, let's see what else we got here. Galleta, I think, said something. Where we go? It's okay to hold on to the wall and do these. Absolutely. The wall is there to help you balance, so go ahead and use it. Lulu says, hello. Welcome back. Travel Doctor says, yes, 1000%. I'll hold on to the chair sometimes. Keeps on continuing with the hello, because it's part 1 and part 2. And that's it. Okay. Yes, absolutely. You can definitely use a wall, a chair, to give yourself a little bit of support. If I have to turn a little bit sideways to do this, so I'm going to do that. If you put your hands against the wall like this, just off to the side, you don't have to put very much pressure into it. You can just give yourself just enough that you feel a little bit more stable, and you can really focus on your joints when you do that. All right? If you really push into the wall, that's totally fine. You can if you need the lean, but it helps with your balance slowly if you don't absolutely rely on the wall and you still need a little bit of balance, but you have the wall there to help you when you start leaning a little bit. You can push a little bit more against the wall. Does that make sense? Okay, that is hip cars, our first warm-up exercise. Let's get into warm-up exercise number 2, the elephant walk. We're going to fold down, get into this L shape. If your knees are a little bit achy, you can always bend the knees just a little bit. And the goal is to bring the belly button down towards the ground. We want to feel the hamstrings tightening up. For some of you, you'll be way up here by the time it tightens up, and that's totally okay. I want you to focus on bringing the belly button down. We're folding at the hips, and the belly button is basically the top of the hips. So bring the belly button down until you feel a nice, intense hamstring stretch. Whew. Okay. Just spend a little bit of time here. Get used to that stretch. Adjust your hips a little bit. Sort of just shake your butt and see if things loosen up. Once you hung out for a couple of seconds, I want you to start bending one knee, straightening the other leg, and really feeling the pressure in those hamstrings. They're going to feel weird when you first start. They're going to feel stiff. You might feel something shifting around in your legs, and that is all normal. That is okay. Just keep on going. Left and right and left and right. Give it some time, and your hamstrings should loosen up a little bit. Whew. Keep going. Keep going. You might feel like suddenly, oh, okay, it's much smoother than before. And it might happen in between 1 or 2 reps. All of a sudden, you feel like you made a big jump in the quality of the movement. You might, however, feel like not much is changing in between each rep. That's also going to be okay, because not every day you need to make progress. but you do need to show up consistently so that your brain knows it wants to make progress. And once you've done a couple of these, we're going to start with some rotations. The rotations are going to be built off the same movement. We're going to bend one knee, straighten the other leg, fold, and bring the belly button down. All right. I'm going to take this hand, the opposite hand, to push against the straightened leg to help the chest rotate. So my right leg is straight. My left hand is pushing against the right leg. My chest is rotating to the right. My right arm is extended up and behind me. And I'm looking at those fingers to rotate the neck a little bit as well. Then come on back down. That is half a rep. We're going to go over to the other side. Now the right knee is bent, the left leg is straight. We're going to rotate. Take a deep breath while you're rotating. It'll be hard to take a whole deep breath, but breathe. And come on down. That is 1 rep. Let's do 5 total. Open. And down. Open. And down. That's 2. And 3. And 4. Last rep. And 5. Oh, okay. Feeling a little better with your shoulders, with your back, and we have done the right things. If you need to grab an extra rep or 2, go ahead and take it. Whew. With that, we are done with warm-up exercise 2. Let's get into warm-up exercise number 3, the Cossack switch. It looks a little bit like this. We're going to open up our legs. We're going to try to keep our toes pointed 45-ish degrees. We're going to drop down on one side. If you come all the way down and your heels are coming up, I want you to pull back in a little bit, straighten the knee out, and try to keep your heel down. All right. What we want is to feel the stretch here in the Achilles tendon in the calves. We want to feel the pressure in the front of that ankle. We want to feel the pressure in the hips. We want to just chill here for a little bit. While we do that, let's talk about this foot. The knee is pointing up, the heel is down, and the toes are pointing up. This is called external leg rotation. We use in the side splits. This is very important, so I'm pointing out extra specifically right here. Whew. All right, let's switch over to the other side. You can put your hands down to help bring your body weight over. I need to scoot a little bit so I'm on the camera. And same thing, I want you to keep your heels down. I want you to push your knees in the same direction as your toes. And I want you to put pressure into this position. If your knees are a little bit achy, you can experiment with rotating. You can experiment with not going nearly as deep. All right? Once you've hung out here for a little bit, we are going to start shifting our weight from side to side. What that looks like could be putting your hands down, shifting your weight to the other side, putting your weight down, shifting your weight to the other side, putting your weight down, shifting your weight to the other side. Your hands are helping you with balance. They're supporting some of your body weight the whole entire time. Okay? If you're feeling a little bit like that's too easy for you, great, congratulations. We are going to do that without hands. And then, if you really straighten up the chest and really focus on going from side to side, you can make it even harder. If your knees are struggling, they're unhappy with you, you don't have to go as deep, you don't have to go as hard. All right? We want to slowly work our way down, but if you can only get this deep, your knee is pretty much straight up, and you can only get here. This is a perfectly good place to start, and a perfectly good place to work on in your training. Whew. We're going to do 5 more reps. Go ahead and get started if you haven't. 1 part 2, 2 part 2, 3 part 3, 4 part 4, or part 2, 5 part 2. Oh, come on up. Give your hips a little bit of a break. Rotate, relax. If you want to keep doing more, you don't feel like you're quite warmed up yet, go ahead, do a little bit more. I am ready to come to the chat and have some water. Casablanca says, geez, I'm not as flexible today and I don't know why. It could be a bunch of things. I am super not flexible today. That's because I've been trying to do a bunch of extra stretching every single day. So I've been putting a lot of extra pain and wear and tear into my joints and limbs. But also the last couple of days I've been trying to film a long form version, and long form just being like a YouTube video that you can do a follow along on your TV at home a little bit more easily. And my legs are so tired. I have not been sleeping enough, not recovering, and I'm feeling super stiff and super sore. It's crazy. I think I've just been doing the whole workout maybe 2.5, 3 times, plus a couple like little side videos to have some short form content, and my legs are quite tired. My hamstrings are quite stiff right now. So if you're not sleeping enough, that could be it. If you're overtraining, that could be it. If you just have had not have what is the sentence I'm trying to say? If you have not had enough water, there we go. Boom. If you just haven't had enough water, that could be a huge part of it too. So it turns out. Okay. Let's see. Got a whole bunch of people saying thank you. You're welcome. Evil fart is I'm doing it with you. Lovely. This calms me down. I'm gonna start doing this. Amazing. That's what I'm here for. We do 45-ish minutes of live side splits every single day to practice consistency, to build community. I do everything with you, so you don't have to feel like I'm just lecturing. I'm suffering here on the side with you, complaining about, whatever's going on with my body. At the same time, you're upset about yours. And I try to explain everything with just enough detail so that you can do the whole thing. You don't have to have any knowledge prior to coming in. It helps, but you don't need it. All right, that was our warm-up. Shake out those legs, shake out those arms. Let's do our stretches. So, if you don't know, all you saw was me doing some exercises, then the goal of this is to spend some time doing some side split stretching, some hip mobility, and we do it every day. The first stretch we're going to do is the hamstring stretch. It looks a little bit like this the way we do it. We're going to point our hips forward, we're going to point our chest forward, we're going to stick that leg directly in front of us. If you have a little bit of knee pain, you can give a slight bend in the knee if that relieves the pain. If both are painful, then take it gentle. Don't hurt yourself. Or skip the stretch if you need to. All right. From the side, this stretch is going to look a little bit like this. Hips forward, chest forward, head forward, leg shooting right in front of us forward. I want you to pull this leg into the hip socket. Whoosh. I want you to focus on bringing your belly button down to touch the thigh. Your hamstrings are going to tighten up. They're going to get really unhappy with you. And we want them to relax as much as we can. So we're going to take a nice big inhale. Slow exhale. And try to fold a little bit deeper into the stretch. We're going to do one more. Let's go. Inhale. Slow exhale. The goal is to try and relax. And it's a funny thing because trying to relax sounds like the opposite of relaxing, right? Like, I'm trying, relax me. But try your best. One day, something will suddenly click. You'll, on an exhale, you'll be like, oh, wait, I understand what relaxation suddenly means. There's a skill, there's a trick, there's something to learn, and it's really hard to explain. So just spend some time trying, and it'll help you with everything. If you're just stressed out and you need to be taking bigger, deeper breaths, if you pile on some additional things like relaxing all the muscles in your body, it'll help you sleep easier. It'll help you de-stress much faster. So take that deep breath, try to relax, and see if you can get a little bit deeper into the hamstring stretch. Your hamstrings are going to get even tighter. And then your whole body's gonna be like, "What are you doing? Why do you think this is a time to relax? This is horrible." And that's why it's a skill. You gotta keep practicing. Let's focus on holding this position, trying to apply a little steady pressure for the next 30 seconds. All right, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. If you have knee pain, you can try to bend your knee and then focus on bringing your chest and your belly button down to the ground first, and then straightening the leg after. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ooh. Okay, that's the hamstring stretch. Come back into standing. Give it a second. It might be really uncomfortable for the first couple of seconds. You shake, you move, do a little bit, and all of a sudden, all the feeling in the hamstring should go away. You might even forget which leg you're trying to stretch next. If that's you, great. That means you didn't hurt yourself. That means we can move on. All right, let's go. Extend the other leg. Pull it into that hip socket. Fold the belly button down. Feel the tension in the hamstrings. Let's do our inhale. Slow exhale and fold. Oh, your hamstrings are gonna tighten up. Massage them, squeeze them, do whatever you gotta do to relieve some of that tension. Will it work? I don't know. Does it feel better that you're trying? Probably. So go ahead and do that second inhale. Slow exhale. Relax. And with that, let's hold for 30 seconds. Apply steady pressure. Try to bring your belly button down to the thigh. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, coming out of that hamstring stretch. Whew. We don't need the cushion anymore. I forgot to tell you about grabbing the cushion to begin with. Completely blanked out there. But we don't need it anymore, so you can just toss it off to the side, and we will move right on into warm-up exercise and warm-up exercise. We'll move on right into wow, words. I didn't sleep enough last night, and it's showing in my stretches, and it's also showing in my words. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, that's okay. What am I trying to say? We're going to move on into stretch number 2, and it's called the butterfly is the tailor's pose. All right? Literally, Blossom says their spine cracked 4 times. 4 times during the hamstring stretch? That's incredible. That probably means we should do a little bit more spine stuff before we start so that you get a little bit of relief before we get into the hamstring stretch. Okay, crazy. I was already stretching while scrolling on TikTok for you to be on my For You page. The TikTok knows. It's crazy. It's kind of creepy, just a little bit creepy. But hey, if it's working, it's working. Okay, let's do the butterfly stretch and the tailor's pose. We are getting into a stretch that looks basically like this. Your hips are down, your shoulders are down, your head is. What am I saying? Hold on, let me backtrack. The butterfly and the tailor's pose looks a little bit like this. We're pulling our feet together and pulling it into our hips. All right, I recommend you do this against the wall because the wall will help keep you stable and keep you supported so that you can really bring the knees down into the ground. For example, if I'm all the way over here and I'm trying to get into that same position, I'm really struggling. I'm pulling on my feet to try to keep from flopping backwards, and it's hard to focus on the knees, and it's hard to apply pressure into the knees. But if you have a wall, the wall will keep your hips, your shoulder, your head nice and straight in this line. When you pull your legs in, you don't have to pull on your feet anymore. Like there's a little bit of stability, sure, but you don't have to hold on to your legs to keep you from flopping backwards. All right. With that stability, it's much easier to focus on contracting the muscles, the outer thighs, the glutes, and open up the hips. If you don't know what muscles those are or how to use them, focus on bringing your knees down to the ground because it is really, really a strange feeling if you've never really used those muscles before. So focus on bringing the knees down into the ground and take advantage of the wall. Push your legs down into the ground. Ooh, man, my hips are super tight today. When you do this, when you're applying pressure with your hands, if there's a wall behind you, you're going to feel pressure in the back of your head and in your shoulders. That is basically the wall pushing back against you, keeping you stable so you can put a lot of force into your legs. So go ahead, let's do that and contract those muscles, hold in the stretch for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, relieve that pressure with your hands. Move those hips around, straighten those legs a little bit. Relax. Take a couple seconds to breathe. Shift your legs around just a little bit. Get that movement back into the hips because if you were contracting your muscles trying to open up your hips earlier, then those muscles might be a little bit stiff right now. All right, that is stretch number 2. We're going to move right on into standing pancake. Keep on giving yourself some light massage as I explain to you what standing pancake looks like. We're going to open up the legs. Doesn't have to be super wide, but I want you to be pretty wide. The goal is to fold forward, which means we'll bring the belly button down towards the ground and try to keep at least the lower back half of your body straight. If the upper half bends a little bit, that's fine. No worries. From here, the main focus is this forward fold. You're going to feel the stretch in your hamstrings, and the goal is to bring your belly button and your head in between your legs. And it's really hard. So we use the standing pancake because gravity is pulling a lot of pressure because our torso is leaned forward this way. Right? Gravity is helping us get the job done. So this is the best stretch for most people who are a little bit stiff, like me. Let's go ahead and extend those arms. Feel the intensity of the stretch increase a ton just because you stuck your arms out ahead of you. If this is too intense, you can always pull your arms in. If you need to take a break, you can always pull your arms down. All right. We're basically going to focus on bringing the belly button down towards the ground for the next 30 seconds. And you can make it harder or easier as you wish. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, come on out of the stretch. If you have not made it in at one of the points where I said I am super sore and achy today, then I'm gonna just remind you. I'm gonna say it again. I am struggling today, so I'm taking the intensity down quite a bit. I'm not going very hard in some of these stretches, but I'm doing them with you so that you have the form. So I remember what to say, because clearly, if I were just talking, I would forget. because my brain is not working so well today. And that is okay because I am doing it with you 100%. Let's go. We just did the third stretch. That is the hamstring stretch. Sorry, that's the standing pancake stretch. And we're going to get into a slightly more chill stretch from here. That is the figure four stretch. The fourth stretch is called the figure four, and that's because you bring your leg across the body to make this thing that kind of looks like the number four. I guess with the contrasting shorts, it's a little bit hard to see, but basically, we're putting the ankle across the body. And the goal is to lift that leg towards the chest or bring the chest down towards the leg, depending on how you want to do it. And we want to feel the stretch out here in the outer hip and in the glute area. All right, that is the basis of the stretch. Yesterday, I'm pretty sure we did, I don't remember anymore. I think yesterday we did the figure four, so today we'll do the pigeon. And the pigeon looks a little bit like this. We are bringing our leg across our body. If you've watched some yoga videos, done some practice, this is a very familiar stretch, I'm sure. I want you to generally aim for the mid-chest to go to the middle of your knee to ankle. This bone somewhere in the middle. Meet somewhere in the middle of your chest. Cool? This back leg, if you cannot fully extend it behind you, that is okay. We're focusing on this set of hip muscles. So if this leg over here is not in perfect position, who cares? It's fine. We're moving on. All right. And then, do I have anything else to say? I think when we get into position, and I'm going to do it from this side so it's easier to see, I want you to keep your hips as low as you can while you fold your chest forward. If you bring your head all the way down, but your hips come up, then we're reducing the intensity of the stretch, right? So, hips down first, and then fold forward. That's basically it. Let's go. 30 seconds, get into position. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that is the pigeon stretch on one side. We're going to go ahead and move to the other side. Again, we're bringing this leg across the body, perpendicular. We're going to try and aim the midpoint of the chest to the midpoint in the leg. If you got super long legs, then midpoint might not make sense. Maybe you're really far. But in that case, make some adjustments. As long as you're feeling the stretch out here in the outer hip, we're good. All right. Bring the hips down first, then fold forward. Maximize that stretch. Don't forget to breathe. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. Remember, slowly breathe. Enjoy this position. Try to let go of the muscles in your lower back that are supporting your back. Try to let go of these glute and side glute hip area muscles and see if you can time it with an exhale. It'll be like magic. Suddenly you just like fall deeper into the stretch. I forgot to count. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, okay, come on out of that stretch. Whew. And that is figure four. We're done with all the other stretches. We're done with all the other warm-up. It's time for some side splits. Whew. I have not come to the chat for a while, so I'm going to come back over, take a look. Sakari is very happy with the pigeon stretch. and just wants to call it there and relax. The giggles says hello. Hello, hello. Okay, let's check out the chat on TikTok. Give me a second. I'm going to scroll back up. Everything seems pretty quiet. Literally Blossom says, way more flexible on one side. That is totally normal. It's completely, usually always the case. My left side is way better than my right side. And I can like really comfortably keep this knee pretty close to horizontal with just my hand. On the other side, I think it's probably a little bit harder to notice on the camera, but the knee is at a slightly higher angle and I have to pull a lot harder to get to that same angle. Whew, so that's normal. That happens. And a lot of it has to do with how you use your different legs, right? If you jump off of one leg all the time, it's going to be a little bit different, the muscles in that leg and the way that it works, right? If you're a righty, maybe your fingers are more dextile and are more flexible in that hand than in the left hand. That happens. It's just how use happens. But if you spend a lot of time in the pigeon, it's possible to even it out and get it a little bit more uniform across the body. Give that a try and report back. Let me know how it goes. Because I didn't really notice how much of a difference the right hip was having until pretty recently. Like I just wasn't consciously thinking about it. And all of a sudden I was like, my knee is like so far away on this side. What's going on? Okay, let's do some side splits. First thing we're gonna do is talk about safety. A lot of stretching is training the brain to chill out and relax. And that comes from some mind-body connection-y stuff that we don't have to get into. But basically, when you get into a stretched out position, your brain is going, whoa, 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 this is way scary. Don't do this. Why are you trying to get yourself hurt? And we know that we're probably not going to get hurt, but the brain doesn't know that. It's trying to be very conservative, very safe. And that's why we get stuck and all the muscles are tightened right here and over here. The muscles are contracting to fight against the split. And what we're trying to do is get those muscles to relax, to calm down, so that they stop fighting against us. All right? A lot of that has something to do with how stressed out you are, even, or how safe you feel. If you're feeling like somebody's about to attack you and you're just ready to move at all times, your muscles are not going to be relaxed. All right, it's going to be really hard to focus on your stretch. So let's add a little bit of safety and add a little bit of comfort in so you can focus on the stretch. First thing is using the wall behind you, or in this case, using the wall behind me. Because if you take a step forward from that wall, about 8 to 12 inches, if you fall forward, you can use your hands to catch you. But when you start falling backwards, you're like, oh no! The wall is here to catch you. Hopefully, your shoulder will smash into it. Maybe your butt will smash into it. Those are all better than falling all the way down to the ground and smashing your butt into the floor. And as long as you tuck your head, you shouldn't smash your head into the wall. But even if you did, you're traveling a much further distance than if you went all the way to the ground. All right, so let's add that little piece in to make sure you stay safe. And let's get into the actual side splits. Once you are 8 to 12 inches, one step in front of the wall, I want you to open up your legs as wide as you can until it's almost uncomfortable here in the hips. Fold forward, put your hands down, and putting the hands down helps us to shift some of the weight that's in our legs into our hands. Makes it easier for us to externally rotate. What that means is your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are pointing up. All right? We're going to make sure to do that on both sides. And as soon as we get into this position, you might be feeling really, 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 really tight everywhere. And if you need to stop here, this is your stretch. Perfect. If you want to go a little bit further, you can walk your hands back, shift that body weight we pushed out forward, back right into our legs, and this is going to get intense. And if you can, try to add a little wiggle, a little tiny bit to break the friction in our feet. And now it's time to count 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, almost done, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk those hands forward, pull your knees in from behind you. Oh, that was really intense because I explained so much for so long and we're just hanging out there suffering. Then you can kneel, chill for a little bit, breathe, grab a sip of water if you need to, take that quick break. And let's continue. Come back into standing. Your legs might be a little wobbly. That's okay. Stay balanced. Don't fall. But we're going to shake it out right now. What we're going to do is gently shake and flop each of our legs. The stretch that we put them through, like I said, the body went, stop it, stop trying to stretch. And it was contracting all the muscles and getting you real stiff and making it hard for you to move. So what we want to do is do our best to relax those muscles as much as we can. And the easiest way to do that, and the fastest way to do that, is to shake it out. It doesn't have to be an aggressive shake, just a gentle flopping. The more floppy and wiggly you look, the more relaxed your muscles are. Because if your muscles are really tense, you would move like a robot. All right? So, shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. And combine all those different movements at the different joints until your legs are loose. As you get more loose and you get better at figuring out which muscles are causing things to rotate and you can actually spin and shake, you can shake a little bit more aggressively and work on that wiggle, 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 wiggle. Most of that stretch is coming from our legs, so you can focus on that. But if you are feeling pretty confident in that, you can add in your arms again. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. And I know it looks silly. It's a little funny looking. People are going to be confused. But that is a really good way to make sure your muscles are relaxed. You can use this in between sets when you're working out. If you're doing, I don't know, bicep curls, right? Your biceps are going to be really tense. Your forearms are going to be really tense. Maybe your triceps are tense if you're doing the counter contraction of the opposing muscles. And if you spend your time shaking out that arm like so, your biceps will help loosen up a little bit. Your triceps will loosen up a little bit, and you'll be able to get a little bit more in the next set. Cool? All right. That is round 1 of our side splits. We're doing 3 rounds of 30 seconds. And now that I've talked for so long, I think it's time for us to get into round 2 of the side splits. Since we explained pretty clearly the instructions on the first one, we're going to start picking up the pace and going a little bit smoother into the stretch so you're not holding it for nearly as long and it's a little bit more comfortable. All right? Walls. Safety. 1 step in front so that when you fall, the wall will catch. Open up those legs nice and wide until it's uncomfortable at the hips. Fold forward, put your hands down, externally rotate the legs so that the heels are down, the toes are up, the knees are pointing up. Relax. You might notice you're already sinking deeper into the stretch than that first round. Amazing. Walk the hands back. And feel the stretch get more intense. Do a little wiggle from side to side. Get as deep as you can. The wiggle helps break the friction in your feet and the floor. And once you're here, 30 seconds, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Walk those hands forward. Pull your legs in beneath you. And take a quick rest if you need it. Water break. Breathe, whatever you need. And let's come back into standing. I'm pretty sure we skipped some joint checks last round, so we're gonna do it this time for sure. Let's shake out the leg. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Shake, 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 shake. Flop, 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 flop. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. We have in the past called these noodles, ramen noodles, maybe even soggy noodles if they just go and and totally relax. I'm trying to remember if we came up with other words to describe what we're doing. I think at one point we were making jokes about pasta, different types of pasta, spaghetti, rigatoni. I can't think of any off the top of my head. I'm gonna just stop there. Okay, your legs are feeling a little bit better. I'm gonna ask you to add one more thing and ask you to intentionally rotate the hips a little bit. All right, it's gonna look a little bit like this. We're doing some stinky leg, just getting a little bit of movement in the hip. When you're shaking it out, tends to be that you are shaking from the knee and the ankle, and maybe a little bit of the front and back in the hip. I just want you to add in a little bit from side to side this way. Okay? Now, let's do a couple of joint checks to make sure everything is working and feeling good. We're gonna do some hip circles. Just light. Make sure nothing feels tight or caught or stuck. High knees. Make sure the hip flexors are flexing and doing their job. We're gonna do a mini squat. Feel that pressure in the knees, in the ankles, onto the toes. And once you've done all those things, all those joints seem to be working fine, then we are basically ready for round 3. I think since we're gonna do round 3, we should actually just take a couple more seconds to relax and loosen up. We do a lot of time trying to loosen up because we want our muscles to be as relaxed as possible, as recovered as possible in between each of the stretches. If you're super tight and just go do another round, it's probably going to be the case that maybe you'll make a tiny little bit of progress, but having the full reset, giving your body time to change and get ready for the next one and feel almost fresh, almost, is going to make a big difference. And if you don't believe me, you can run the test. Next time, you can skip all of the relaxation in between and just go for an immediate next round, and you can compare how that feeling feels. Okay, let's go. Let's do round 3. Let's wrap things up. Take that step in front of the wall so that when you fall, your butt, your shoulders, your back will hit the wall first. Tuck the head, keep yourself safe, and don't intentionally fall. The wall is there to keep you safe as an extra precaution. Okay, don't go, oh, my butt to the wall. Okay, open up those legs nice and wide. When it gets a little bit uncomfortable in the hips, fold forward, put your hands down. Externally rotate the legs so that your heels are down, your toes are up, your knees are up. Do a little wiggle now. We used to save the wiggle for the end, but now we're going to do a little bit of a wiggle just to get some movement as we get deeper into the stretch. Walk the hands back towards your hips. And once you are here, keep doing the wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. When you are as deep as you can get, it's time for our 30 seconds. Let's do it. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. If at any point these stretches get a little bit too intense, you can always walk your hands forward or back. And your hips will also follow you forward and back. And it changes the stretch ever so slightly. And it'll relieve a little bit of pressure on the muscles that are uncomfortable. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk those hands forward, pull the legs in, and take a little break and rest. That is our third and final side split. We're done with the stretches, but we're going to keep on doing the shakes. We're going to keep on doing the body reset stuff so that when you go back to doing whatever else that you're doing, whatever you got left for the day, you are going to be able to do it nice and easy. Cool? So Or shift those hips around if you want. Do the joint checks if you want. Just make sure whatever you're doing feels good and is stretching out something for the body. And let's start to do that final round of wiggling, shaking, noodling, ramening, pastaing, whatever it is that you want to call it. Gently start from a slow shake to a more intense shake, flop, wiggle, relax those muscles, add in a little bit of hip rotation here, and combine it. Flop, 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 flop. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Relax those muscles. Intentionally do some dance moves. In, out, in, out, in, out. Stanky leg, stanky leg. Whew. When your hips are feeling a little bit better, when your legs are feeling pretty loose, we're going to do a couple of joint checks to make sure everything is working good. Hip circles. If you feel a bunch of stretch in the outside of your hips, feel free to spend an extra second or two there on those. Do some high knees. Make sure your muscles are working. Let's pop into a mini squat. Put a little pressure in your ankles and your knees. I said them in reverse. Don't worry about that. Come up onto the toes and do a little calf raise. Make sure all those muscles are working well, working together. And with that, if you have passed all those little mini tests, then it's time for us to wrap up. Oh, okay. Eve on YouTube asked, just got here. Are you a yoga instructor? I am not a yoga instructor, but I try to tap into some of that calm yoga energy occasionally so that you can relax a little bit. I am a little bit tired today, which is different from my usual vibe, I think. And usually I'm a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more high energy. And yeah, I try to make the live exercises a little bit more fun with that good energy, with the good vibes. Hopefully that, translates into you guys having more fun, having good vibes, feeling good about exercise, and makes it a little bit more exciting for you to come in and start practicing, start training. Whew. All right, I'm gonna scroll back over to TikTok real quick just to take a look. Literally, Blossom says, ended up just sitting in a straddle. That is perfect. If you can get into a nice, strong straddle, if you can start folding in that straddle, uh, get into some pancakes seated, then hey, you're doing really good. Most of the show is designed for people who are literally less flexible than you, including myself, including my past self. And so we do a lot of variations that are heavily gravity assisted, let's say, the standing pancake being one of them. Um, yeah, so in that final position, I did for a moment there talk about shifting your hands forward, shifting your hands back, and changing the intensity of the stretch on your different leg and hip muscles. Um, you're basically switching back and forth between a pancake, a straddle, and a side split. They all have different names, right? But the end result is really similar. The end goal is really similar. You're trying to open up your legs really wide and trying to get a little stronger in that position. So when you shift your weight all the way back and all the way forward, you're basically hitting all the different muscles that can be involved in doing that. And if you don't have any of the three stretches, the three big crazy stretches that look super impressive, then doing any of those will make you a little bit better at whatever it is that we're doing, right? So keep that in mind. You don't have to do every rep perfectly, and you can still make plenty of progress living off of just consistency. All right, literally Blossom says, love the gravity stretches. Yup. Yup, agreed. Gayeta says, please try to get a full night's sleep today, King. Thank you. Thank you. I will try my best. I will try my best. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the good vibes. Thank you, Gayeta. All right, I think that's it. If you have no idea what we're doing or what we just wrapped up, we did essentially 45 minutes of live side split stretching. It's 54 minutes total right now, and I'm just talking at the beginning and at the end. We do this every day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, and make things a little bit easier so that you can keep on doing the hard stuff, keep on showing up, stretching, suffering a little bit on the floor, and making progress towards your side split goals. That is my goal for me to practice consistency. So, on certain days where I'm feeling really stuck and painful in my hips because I've just been overdoing it, I'm gonna take it a little less intensely. My energy might be a little bit down, but I'm gonna show up every day to support you guys, and I'm gonna tone down the intensity for me, but you can keep going at exactly what intensity works for you. Cool. All right. I think with that, I'm going to do one last final scroll in the chat to see if there's anything else I need to address. And then I will move right on. Got a couple people asking about jumping. I think I'm going to just skip those. And on TikTok, I think I've covered everything. All right. That's it for me for today. I hope to see you tomorrow. We are going to be here same time. I'm going to do my best to get a lot more sleep so I can bring good energy, good vibes, and we can crush it tomorrow. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed the stretch. Bye.